Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world filled with distractions. Every moment, something is vying for our attention, whether it's social media, the opinions of others, or the noise of everyday life. But if we are to achieve anything of real value, there's one thing: we must master the power to focus our minds. Focusing your mind is not just about concentrating on one task at hand. It's about bringing mental clarity into everything you do. When your mind is clear, your path becomes clear. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and you find solutions instead of excuses. But this clarity doesn't come by chance, it is cultivated. Mindfulness and awareness are key. How often do we allow our thoughts to wander without purpose? We go through the motions of life, but our minds are elsewhere, caught up in distractions. When we bring our attention back to the present moment, when we truly focus, we regain control of our lives. This is how we align our actions with our intentions. But focusing your mind also means protecting your energy. Negativity, doubts, and the voices of those who say you can't succeed, they can easily cloud your thinking if you let them. To focus your mind, you must become intentional about what you allow into your mental space. You need to filter out the noise, the drama, and anything that does not serve your purpose. It's your responsibility to create an environment, both mentally and physically, that nurtures focus. Discipline is the cornerstone of focus. Like any skill, training your mind to focus takes time and effort. You must make it a daily practice to concentrate on what truly matters to you. At first, it will be difficult. You might get distracted or lose sight of your goal, but keep at it. Over time, focus becomes easier, and you will begin to see the results of your efforts. Your progress will be the evidence of your focus. Finally, you must align your focus with your deeper purpose. It's not enough to simply be productive. You must know why you are focusing. What are you working toward? What drives you? When your focus is connected to your purpose, it becomes a powerful force that moves you forward, even when things get tough. So I urge you to take control of your mind, to direct your focus toward what matters most. The power to achieve, to grow, to transform all starts in the mind. Focus it, nurture it, and watch your life change in ways you never thought possible. Focusing your mind is the foundation for achieving any meaningful success in life. When we talk about focus, it's not simply about keeping our attention on a task for a short period of time. It's much deeper than that. It's about cultivating a mental clarity that allows you to see through the chaos of everyday life and zero in on what truly matters. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. And if you don't have control over your mind, you'll find yourself pulled in 100 different directions, never quite achieving the results you want. Think of your mind like a camera lens. When you're trying to capture a moment, you need to adjust the lens so that everything becomes clear, sharp, and in focus. The same is true of your mind. When your thoughts are scattered, your energy is scattered. You're constantly reacting to what's happening around you instead of proactively moving toward your goals. But when you focus your mind, everything starts to come into alignment. The distractions fade into the background, and the path ahead becomes clear. Mental clarity is the key to unlocking your potential. We often hear people talk about working harder or putting in more effort, but no amount of hard work will get you where you want to go if your mind is cluttered and unfocused. Without mental clarity, you might find yourself spinning your wheels, working tirelessly but not making any real progress. On the other hand, when you focus your mind, you're able to channel your energy efficiently, and that's when real breakthroughs happen. Achieving focus isn't something that happens overnight. It requires intentional effort and a commitment to training your mind just like you would train a muscle. One of the first steps toward cultivating focus is to become aware of where your mind tends to wander. What are the distractions that pull you off course? It could be anything from social media to the opinions of others to the fear of failure. Identifying these distractions is crucial because you can't address what you don't acknowledge. Once you know what's competing for your attention, you can begin to take control of it. A focused mind doesn't just happen, it's the result of consistent practice. You have to make it a priority to clear your mental space. This might mean setting boundaries in your life. Maybe it's turning off notifications on your phone during work hours or creating a quiet space where you can think and reflect. It could also mean being more selective about the people and influences you allow into your life. The reality is, if you're surrounded by negativity, it's going to be much harder to focus your mind on positive, productive things. You must actively create an environment that supports focus and mental clarity. Once you begin to clear the clutter from your mind, you'll start to experience a shift. You'll notice that you're able to concentrate for longer periods of time without getting distracted. You'll find that your thoughts are more organized and your decision-making becomes more efficient. This is where the real power of focus lies. When you can maintain mental clarity, you become more productive, more creative, and more effective in everything you do. It's important to recognize that focus is not about multitasking. In fact, the opposite is true. The more you try to juggle multiple things at once, the less effective you become. Focusing your mind means giving your full attention to one thing at a time. It means being fully present in the moment, whether you're working on a project, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a personal goal. When you give your full attention to something, you not only get better results, but you also experience a deeper sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Another key aspect of focusing your mind is learning to let go of what you can't control. Often we waste mental energy worrying about things that are outside of our influence. This only serves to drain our focus and cloud our thinking. When you focus your mind, you learn to direct your energy toward the things you can control, and you stop letting external circumstances dictate your mindset. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful because it allows you to stay centered and grounded no matter what's happening around you. In the end, focusing your mind is about reclaiming your power. It's about taking charge of your thoughts, your energy, and your attention, and directing them toward the things that truly matter to you. It's not always easy, but the rewards are immense. When you focus your mind, you unlock your full potential, and you open the door to new possibilities and opportunities. So make the decision today to cultivate mental clarity, to clear out the distractions, to focus on what really matters. Your future self will thank you for it. And aware is at the heart of focusing your mind, and it is an essential practice if you want to regain control over your thoughts and actions. In today's world, where we are constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and distractions, mindfulness becomes not just a luxury, but a necessity. The ability to be fully present in the moment, aware of what you are thinking, feeling, and experiencing, is the foundation for achieving focus. Without awareness, our minds can easily drift from one thought to the next, leaving us feeling scattered and disconnected from our goals and desires. Mindfulness is about paying attention, deep attention to the here and now. How many times do we find ourselves going through the motions, doing things on autopilot, while our minds are elsewhere? Maybe you've experienced driving somewhere, arriving at your destination, and realizing you don't even remember the journey. Or perhaps you've caught yourself in a conversation but not fully listening because your mind is already thinking about what you're going to say next. These are everyday examples of how we lose focus and how being unaware can rob us of the present moment. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to notice these tendencies. You become more attuned to your thoughts and the patterns of your mind. This awareness allows you to recognize when your thoughts are drifting and gently bring your attention back to what is in front of you. It's not about eliminating distractions completely, that's impossible, but it's about being conscious enough to recognize them when they arise and choosing not to engage with them. Mindfulness helps you focus by quieting the mental noise that so often pulls you away from your priorities. When you are mindful, you are more likely to stay centered in the moment, which is essential for clarity of thought. Many of us spend too much time either ruminating on the past or worrying about the future. We get caught up in regrets, fears, and uncertainties, which clouds our ability to concentrate on what truly matters right now. Mindfulness brings your attention back to the present, where you can fully engage with what's in front of you and give it your best effort. This practice of mindfulness is especially powerful when applied to your goals and aspirations. When you become mindful of your thoughts, you can observe how certain beliefs or mental habits may be sabotaging your ability to focus. For example, when you're working towards something important, it's easy to let self-doubt creep in, or to get distracted by the idea that success isn't guaranteed. These are the types of mental obstacles that can prevent you from making meaningful progress. But when you're mindful, you recognize these thoughts for what they are, just thoughts. You don't allow them to dictate your actions. Instead, you refocus on the task at hand, knowing that what matters most is the effort you put in, not the outcome that may or may not happen in the future. Mindfulness also encourages you to slow down and fully experience each moment. In a world that constantly tells us to move faster, do more, and multitask, slowing down can feel counterintuitive. But it's often in those moments of stillness and focus that we gain the greatest insights and clarity. When you give your full attention to something, whether it's a project, a conversation, or even a quiet moment of reflection, you become more effective and more creative. The quality of your work improves because you're not dividing your attention among multiple things. You're fully present, and that presence allows you to access a deeper level of understanding and performance. One of the great benefits of mindfulness is that it helps you build resilience. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be moments that challenge your focus. Perhaps you're working on a deadline and an unexpected crisis arises, or maybe you're trying to stay focused on your goals, but life keeps throwing distractions in your path. Mindfulness helps you navigate these challenges by keeping you grounded in the present moment. Instead of getting overwhelmed or stressed out by things that are beyond your control, you stay calm and focused on what you can control. This ability to stay present, even in the face of difficulties, is what allows you to maintain your focus over the long term. Mindfulness is not a one-time practice, it's something that you must integrate into your daily life. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breathing, and bring your attention back to the present moment. Or it can be more deliberate, such as practicing mindfulness while you're working, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. The more you practice mindfulness, the better you become at catching yourself when your mind starts to drift and bringing your attention back to what truly matters. In the end, mindfulness and awareness are about giving yourself the gift of presence. When you are fully present, you are able to focus your mind in a way that leads to greater clarity, productivity, and fulfillment. It's a practice that allows you to live more intentionally, make better decisions, and ultimately achieve your goals with a greater sense of purpose and direction. By cultivating mindfulness, you take the first step toward reclaiming your focus and living a life that is truly aligned with your values and aspirations. Focusing your mind requires more than just attention to the task at hand. It also involves consciously filtering out the negativity and distractions that can derail your progress. In our daily lives, we're surrounded by influences that affect our ability to stay focused. From the opinions of others to the constant barrage of news and social media, it's easy to get caught up in thoughts and emotions that drain our mental energy. If you allow these external forces to invade your mind, they will cloud your thinking and pull you away from your goals. Negativity, in particular, has a powerful effect on the mind. It creeps in subtly at times, disguised as self-doubt, fear, or the negative opinions of others. Maybe someone once told you that you couldn't achieve something, and those words linger in the back of your mind, influencing how you approach challenges. Or perhaps you've internalized societal messages that tell you what success should look like, making you question whether you're on the right path. These negative influences can be overwhelming if you don't take control of them. To focus your mind effectively, you must become vigilant about what you allow into your mental space. This requires a deliberate effort to filter out the noise that doesn't serve you. One of the first steps in this process is recognizing the sources of negativity in your life. These sources can be external, such as people who constantly criticize or environments that breed doubt. Or they can be internal, like negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. It's important to be honest with yourself about where these influences are coming from, so that you can begin to manage them. Once you've identified the negative influences in your life, the next step is to establish boundaries. This doesn't mean that you have to cut people out of your life or avoid all forms of media, but it does mean being selective about what you expose yourself to. For instance, if you have a friend or family member who is always negative, It might be necessary to limit your time with them or set boundaries around what topics you discuss. Similarly, if you find that spending too much time on social media leaves you feeling drained or distracted, consider limiting your usage or curating your feed to include only content that uplifts and inspires you. One of the most important boundaries you can set is with yourself. Negative self-talk is one of the biggest obstacles to focus. How many times have you told yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed"? These thoughts can be incredibly damaging because they undermine your confidence and make it difficult to concentrate on what really matters. To overcome this, you must train yourself to recognize when these negative thoughts arise and challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought based on reality, or is it just a fear or insecurity? By questioning your negative self-talk, you begin to weaken its hold over you. In addition to setting boundaries, you must also actively cultivate positive influences in your life. Surrounding yourself with people who support and encourage you can make a world of difference in your ability to focus. Positive relationships provide the reinforcement you need to stay on track, especially when things get tough. When you have people in your life who believe in you, it's easier to push through challenges and keep your mind focused on your goals. This doesn't mean that you should only seek out people who agree with you, but rather those who offer constructive feedback and help you grow. Another powerful way to filter out negativity is to practice gratitude. When you focus on the things you're grateful for, it shifts your mindset from one of scarcity and fear to one of abundance and possibility. Gratitude has a way of putting things into perspective, reminding you of what truly matters and helping you stay grounded in the present moment. By making gratitude a daily practice, you train your mind to focus on the positive, which in turn makes it easier to block out negative influences. It's also important to recognize that negativity will always be present in some form. No matter how much you try to avoid it, there will be moments when doubt creeps in or when external events threaten to throw you off course. The key is not to let these moments define you. Instead, view them as opportunities to strengthen your mental resilience. Every time you successfully filter out negativity and refocus your mind, you build the mental muscle needed to maintain focus in the long term. Developing this ability to filter out negativity and distractions is a process that takes time and practice. It requires mindfulness, self-awareness, and a commitment to protecting your mental energy. But the effort is worth it because when you can clear your mind of distractions, you open up space for clarity, creativity, and productivity. You gain a sense of control over your life and your future because you are no longer allowing external forces to dictate your thoughts or actions. In the end, focusing your mind is not just about what you pay attention to, it's about what you choose to ignore. By consciously filtering out the negativity and distractions that don't serve you, you create the mental environment necessary for growth, achievement, and fulfillment. The power to focus is within you. It just requires the right mindset and a willingness to protect your mental space. When you do this, you'll find that your ability to stay focused on your goals improves and you move through life with a greater sense of purpose and direction. Training your mind to focus is a skill that requires discipline, consistency, and practice. In our fast-paced world where distractions abound, cultivating the ability to concentrate can feel daunting. However, just like physical exercise strengthens your body, mental training can enhance your cognitive abilities and improve your focus over time. This journey to sharpen your focus begins with understanding that it is not an innate talent, but a muscle that can be developed through conscious effort. To start, you must establish a routine that prioritizes focus as a core element of your daily life. This can begin with simple practices like setting aside specific times to work on important tasks without interruptions. It's essential to create an environment conducive to concentration. Designate a quiet space for work or study, free from distractions like your phone or unnecessary noise. The more you condition your surroundings to promote focus, the easier it will be for your mind to adapt to the practice. One effective technique for training your focus is the Pomodoro technique, which involves working in short, intense bursts followed by brief breaks. For example, you might work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. This method not only helps maintain your concentration, but also prevents mental fatigue. After a few cycles, you can take a longer break, allowing your mind to recharge fully. The key here is to commit to the work period, resisting the urge to check your phone or wander off mentally. Over time, this practice conditions your mind to stay engaged and focused for longer durations. Another crucial aspect of training your mind is recognizing the difference between active focus and passive engagement. Active focus requires you to be fully present and engaged with the task, while passive engagement often leads to a scattered mind. For instance, simply scrolling through a document may feel like you're working, but unless you are actively analyzing or editing the content, you are not truly focused. The distinction is vital to cultivate focus. You must engage with your work actively, asking questions, making connections, and diving deep into the subject matter.